All right, let's talk about something that's probably on a lot of parents' minds: Primary One registration. Look, for thousands of you, this isn't just some form to fill out online. It's basically a high-stakes strategic game. And like any game, you can absolutely win if you know the rules and how to play your cards right.
And if you've been feeling the pressure, well, you're not imagining things. You see this number? 566%. That was the oversubscription rate for a popular school, Princess Elizabeth Primary, in a recent registration phase. That means for every single open spot, there were nearly 6 kids trying to get in. So yeah, the stakes are real.
But here's the thing. It's not just a lottery. It might feel like one sometimes, but it really isn't. Success often boils down to having a solid strategy, not just blind luck. So how do you actually shift the odds in your favor? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. This is your playbook for navigating the whole thing.
Okay, first things first. To win any game, you've got to know the rules. And for P1 registration, the rules are all about understanding the different phases. It's not a one-shot deal. It's a sequence. And knowing where you fit is everything.
So, let's make sure you're playing in the right year. For the 2025 registration exercise, which is for kids starting school in 2026, your child's birthday has to fall between these 2 dates. If that's you, then congratulations, you're officially in the game. I want you to think of this timeline as a giant funnel. At the very top, in Phase 1, you've got siblings of current students. That's pretty much a guaranteed spot. Then the funnel gets a bit narrower for Phase 2A. This is for alumni and staff. Then narrower still for 2B, for community volunteers. And then you hit Phase 2C, where pretty much everybody else jumps in. The rule of thumb is simple. The earlier your phase, the better your shot. Okay, so you know your phase. But what decides who gets priority within that phase? This is where we get to the core strategy. It all comes down to 2 critical, what I like to call, power-ups.
And these are the 2 factors that really decide everything. First up, citizenship. Singapore citizens will always get priority over permanent residents. That's a non-negotiable hard and fast rule. After that, the single biggest, most powerful factor is your home-to-school distance. This is the ultimate tiebreaker.
And this table here shows you the pecking order perfectly. When a school has more applicants than spots, they start at the very top of this list and work their way down. And who's at the absolute top? Singapore citizens living within 1 kilometer of the school. If you're in that box, you're at the top of the food chain. Just how much of a difference does it make? Well, living inside that golden 1 kilometer circle can literally make your success rate 2 to 3 times higher. So in this game, your address isn't just an address. It's arguably the most powerful card you can possibly play. Okay, so we've got the rules, we know the power-ups. Now for the most important part, the actual playbook. Let's get into the specific moves you can make to really boost your chances.
So the best strategy, honestly, is to try and avoid that super crowded Phase 2C altogether. But, and this is a big but, getting into these earlier phases isn't a quick fix. We're talking about long-term plays. Being an alumni, having your child in the school's MOE kindergarten, or becoming a parent volunteer. These things take serious planning, often years in advance.
Let's just zoom in on the parent volunteer route. You can't just sign up a month before. You need to have joined the program by July of the year before registration. Then you've got to clock in at least 40 hours of service. It's a perfect example of how thinking way ahead can pay off big time.
Now this is where using data becomes your secret weapon. I mean, just look at the difference here. On one hand, you've got a hotspot school with almost 7 applicants for every 1 spot. It's a total feeding frenzy. But on the other, you've got a school with, well, with more vacancies than applicants. Being strategic means you look at this data and ask yourself, where are my odds actually good?
And this brings us to what might be the most critical play of all. Hope is not a strategy. I'll say it again. Hope is not a strategy. Even if you're an SC living within 1 kilometer of your dream school, you could still face a ballot. You absolutely must have a plan B and even a plan C. Find a safe school where, based on past data, you know your chances are sky high.
All right, we've talked a lot about how to win, but it's just as important to talk about how you can lose. There are a few hard and fast rules that, if you break them, will send you straight to the penalty box.
And here is the big one, the 30-month stay requirement. If you get a priority spot because of your address, you are required to live at that address for at least 30 months. This isn't a suggestion, it's a rule specifically designed to stop people from gaming the system with a temporary address. And trust me, they take it very seriously.
And let's be crystal clear about the consequences. This is not a slap on the wrist. Providing a false address is a criminal offense. The Ministry of Education can pull your child out of that school, and on top of that, you could face hefty fines or even jail time. It is just not worth the risk.
And then there are the simple, unforced errors. Each phase has a tiny 2 or 3 day registration window. If you miss it, that's it. You get bumped to the next, more competitive phase. So set those calendar alerts. Have your documents ready. Oh, and a pro tip. MOE only considers your latest application. So if you submit and then realize you made a mistake, you can resubmit. Just make sure that final one is perfect.
So, after all of this, we're left with one big final question. In a system where the rules are this black and white, what's truly your biggest advantage? Is it all the long-term planning and the clever strategies? Or at the end of the day, does it just come down to your address?